Hello, YouTube. It's Chance Paladin here, and just so you have something to watch while I'm talking, I'm playing Marvel Heroes on my favorite character, which is Punisher. Of course, this is Rachel, which is a gal that um, carries the same style as Punisher, and her little team up here is Frankencastle, which is an undead Punisher. So, anyway, I'm going to be playing around in Midtown while I talk to you guys. And it's snowy because this is the winter event thingy. So, okay, well, let's just get right into it. Um, I've been talking a lot lately on different forums, mainly YouTube and Facebook, of how it's really important that we all stick out for each other, that we all stick up and watch out for each other. And because we never know when something's going to happen. We never know when people are going to start disappearing. And it's not always going to be some horrible conspiracy. Um, Although, that's going to eventually happen. But simple, like, mental well being, people, maybe they lose a loved one and slip into depression, or maybe um, just anything really that they can't handle on their own. Usually people naturally curl up into a ball. They don't ask for help either because that's how they were born or trained, or maybe they're just unable to. I deal with loss different than most people, but pretty much everybody I've ever known essentially emotionally and physically curls up into a ball. So they'll never ask for help. So people say, well, if you need anything, just ask. Oh, I will. It's not going to happen. You just make food if they're not going to eat it. Somebody helping them there'll eat it. Food's always the thing that people need the most for during loss, because they won't even be able to cook for themselves. So, and food's expensive, and there's like a million costs with that. Anyway, blah blah blah. This isn't about after losing somebody. This is about knowing whether or not people are even lost in the first place. So, um, just in the YouTube community, um, it's not that unheard of for, um, and this is specifically to gun slash survival channels, for people to completely disappear. Um, there was a up and coming YouTube star, gal actually, that was doing quite well for herself, with her new gun channel, and disappeared off the map. And everybody's put the pieces together, and they're pretty sure that she died in a car accident. A gal with the same name in the same place at the same time died in a car accident. But she, as far as I know, she wasn't a part of the larger network. So I don't think anybody really knew where to look for her, and some people knew where to start looking. And it took them a long time, and they eventually found it in the newspapers on what had happened. So we don't want that. We want to know what's going on right away so we can help each other. Another one was Main Prepper. Very very good YouTube channel. He was having a lot of problems though, a lot of mental and physical things too complicated for me to be able to understand, and probably for a lot of people. But people were able to reach out to him and help him, and he got the help he needs, and he's been doing a lot better. This was like a year ago or so. But still, he had to pull his channel down, da 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 da. But people got a hold of him and helped him, and everything ended up being okay again because we have each other, and that's what we need. Is we need our community to be a community and to be networked, at least enough to know when somebody drops off the radar, how to get a hold of them to make sure that they get help, no matter what kind of help it is, financial or emotional, physical, whatever, because when shit hits the fan, we're going to be the first people to go. We just don't know which ones of us. So, in the meantime, we have to keep watching out for each other. So the case in point, was it day before yesterday? I think one of the biggest gun channels, Hickok 45, dropped off the air. His account got terminated, and that's not good. And it's like, whoa, is this it? Because nobody knows who's gonna go first. And but thankfully, because of Facebook connections and because he's in contact with a lot of the other tippy top YouTube gun culture channels, everyone was able to check up in on him and get his YouTube channel back online and make sure he was fine. And he's fine, which is good. And it wasn't the big one, just the fact that they don't even know what it was. But YouTube reinstated their accounts and stuff. So it's all taken care of. But he was down for I don't even know, several hours. And then after he was brought back up, his account still wasn't showing up, but you could maybe search for it, and maybe you'd get it, maybe you didn't. And I think by that night, later the night, he was like finally back up, I think. But that's just how it's gonna be. That's how fast it's gonna happen. And you never expect it when somebody has something bad happen. And there's no good way. Although I've seen websites that have tried to do it in the past where you can set up email lists and stuff, so if anything happens to you and you don't check in on the website, it lets everybody know that you might need help or whatever. But the best way to do it is to have a constant communication circle where everybody knows how everybody's doing. So if there's any kind of help that they need, not just things are going and it's time to do stuff, people need to know when people need help. I'm trying to be vague because there's a lot of YouTubers that have needed help in the past, and sometimes we find out and can help them, and sometimes we don't, and sometimes it takes longer to help them than it should because people don't know how to help. And so any kind of help is better than no help. But then, as Hickok and his son reminded everybody, there's also people that go out of their way to try to capitalize on people getting knocked down also. So, and the spread of misinformation. So, I guess the way I see it is you're either part of the problem or you're a part of the solution. And it was pretty obvious. Well, they even said this too, and it's true. I mean, it's pretty obvious who was helping and who was just being a moron. But um, things are definitely getting more tense. Obama's had like 3 town hallish freestyle town hall things in the last couple days alone, assuring everybody that even the concept of suggesting that he would take everybody's guns away is so ludicrous that he won't even fully respond to it. So, he said some really weird things. He's been saying some really weird things, and they are trying to pass massive amounts of legislation again, like they always do. Massive amounts of executive orders and this and that, and put more money towards smart guns and stuff. And it's like, you guys, it's not the government's job to invest in smart gun technology for the private sector. If they have a military contract, they have a military contract. Otherwise, it's really, really weird. So, and people don't like that for a lot of different reasons, and that's fine. Doesn't mean that you get to be mad at the manufacturers, though. They're just doing their job. They just want money and hire people and stuff. They're not involved in the politics. So I definitely don't condone doing anything harmful. Just it's still a time. It's still a time for talking. There's still, ways to talk through this, and all I'm saying is we have to be watching out for each other. It doesn't matter what ethnicity you are. It doesn't matter what gender you are, or what gender you think you are, or what gender that you feel like you are. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter your ethnicity. It doesn't matter your religion. It doesn't matter what you do in the bedroom. None of that matters. What matters is that we don't get divided. Because at the end of the day, we only have each other. That's it. It's all we have. And all of our training and all of our gear and all of our canned food isn't gonna mean squat if we don't have each other's back. If we don't even know what's going on. And I hate to say, it's an info war, because InfoWars drives me crazy sometimes. But it is an information war and a communication war. Not a real, not a war, but it's communication. And we have to be able to communicate with each other and stop worrying about, oh, well they're a hunter, so they're different than me. Coleon had another YouTuber, the NRA spokesperson guy, had a great video that he did a while back, where he does kind of like that Eddie Murphy thing on the clumps, where he plays all the different people. It's freaking hilarious, and he's like a hunter, a tactical guy, a sports shooter, and sports. What do you call him? I can't remember. Where they run around and do all their sportsy type things with their guns. And he played them all, and they were all arguing with each other, and it was freaking hilarious, because that's what happens. Oh, well, I'm a hunter, so I don't need an AR, or I don't need some kind of more of a tactical shotgun. Like, people don't need that. I've even seen stuff lately where they're like, well, no, you can have whatever rifles you want, but they have to stay at the range, and you can shoot them as much as you want, as much ammo as you want, but they have to stay at the range, and you can't own them. It's like, no. It doesn't say shall not be infringed as long as you're at the range. That's freaking stupid. So, anyway, that's my spiel. Gotta watch out for each other. Yeah, I mean, any more than that, and I'd really be rambling. Even more so. So, like, subscribe, tell your friends, and watch out. Make sure nobody goes missing. Because that's the only way that we're the only people that are going to look out for each other. Whether it's something simple or something crazy, we're all we got. So, yeah. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching me roll around playing my Marvel game with my two favorite characters, Punisher and Punisher. Rawr, say goodbye, Franken Punisher. Rawr. Yeah.